Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh!
Hey, dog.
Mothman has the ability to fly and predict bad events, so I'd give his abilities a 5 out of 10 since it doesn't do much.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Rex, when's the last time you cried?
Probably in like December.
Where do you listen your music?
What are you doing with that turkey, Dad?
Don't worry about it.
Millions of people listen to your podcast.
It's just crazy.
I love making music.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Valley VibeZ, a radio show recorded and produced by Spartan Sound Productions. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Serenity.
In today's episode, we'll explore the Central Union High School rock combo and its origins, current situation, and its future aspirations. We will also get to hear a couple songs performed by the rock combo throughout the episode, so stay tuned for that.
So Amelia, did you know that the rock combo started in the mid-1970s by Jimmy Cannon?
No, really, was it a class?
Yeah, it was actually a regular class during that time.
Oh wow, well it must have been really unique because I never heard of anyone else in the Valley having it.
Yeah, they have a bunch of options for students to perform, like popular music, using guitars, keyboards, voices, and etc.
Speaking on that, I heard it was removed from the schedule later on, like in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I really don't know why, if like some classes, like AP classes, had 6 students in them, but for some reason it wasn't allowed for an arts class.
Was there like a certain amount of students that you had to have?
I think it was like 24.
Wow, that's a big difference in comparison. But I think they later offered it like as a class so more people can join to revive the arts.
Yeah, they revived it after COVID, which was actually pretty cool. I was really happy to hear that.
I saw the video where they performed at prom that year as well.
Really? How was it?
It was actually pretty good. Rock combo had been brought back like a while ago. I think it was in like 2022 when a new teacher, Mr. Rubio, he revived it.
Oh, you know what? He also played in the rock combo, I think, his freshman year here too.
Really? That's crazy. Actually, talking about Mr. Rubio, we did bring him in just to hear a little bit on his experiences being in rock combo and teaching rock combo. So we'll hand things over to Daniel, and so be sure to keep listening.
All right, we are back for our second episode, ladies and gentlemen, and other distinguished members of the audience. We are currently here with Mr. Rubio, who is the head of Rock Combo here at Central Union High. Why don't you introduce yourself, Mr. Rubio?
Hi, my name is Art Rubio. Go by Mr. Rubio here at Central.
Right. In addition to music appreciation, Mr. Rubio is, of course, in charge of the Rock Combo. And we brought him in here to just kind of give us his perspectives, throughout his life. Because not only is he a teacher here at Central, he was also an alumni of Central and a professional performer.
Correct, yes.
Right. So why don't you tell us about your time here at Central, Mr. Rubio?
Well, I was a student here at Central from, a student here at Central from 2009 to 2013. I graduated in 2013. I was in rock combo 3 of those 4 years. I had taken Dr. Taki's music appreciation class when he ran it my senior year. And even though that was what, 10 years, past 10 years ago now, maybe like 10, 14 years ago. Being a student during that time was a lot different than today, as far as what the rock combo was and the technology that was available. It was more of a live performance based back then, mainly because recording technology wasn't as accessible as it is now. So your really only exposure you had as a live musician here on campus was to perform live. Whether it be here on campus or out and about at local events that were provided that we were able to play, that Dr. Taki had gotten us on when I was a student here in Rock Combo.
Right. And at the time, Rock Combo was nothing more than a club, right?
At the time, it was a class, actually. There was, from the time I graduated to my second year working here, I have no recollection of what it was. I had gone to school and I had done my professional. I was a musical performer and went to school and all that. So I went to college. Excuse me. I really don't know where it was at that point. But from my understanding, it was a club like right after I left, and it kind of just died out. So I don't know where it was at. But when I came here, we decided to make it a club, and it's become what it's become today.
Right. How would you say your experiences in, professional performance and your time in college have affected, you as a person now?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, because when I graduated high school, recording technology and just music technology in general was kind of in its infancy of where it's at. You did have recording software when I was in high school, but it was very expensive. It was a lot of higher end consumer grade, or not even prosumer grade equipment. So, we didn't have Chromebooks when I was in high school. So now just with Chromebooks and with technology and all these devices and all the recording equipment being more accessible now, it's accessible now, but when I was in high school, it wasn't. So when I graduated, it started to become more and more accessible. And I got to learn a lot how to use it when I was in college, and even in my away from college, when I was just a musical performer and playing live shows with other bands, I got to see and be around people who use that technology. So I would go play live, and then when I would go to school, because I went to school for commercial music performance, I was able to kind of utilize what I heard from my friends and apply it in school, learn about it in school, and have a better understanding of just how to manipulate the technology, especially now that it's such a new thing that's being offered in a lot of schools. I was able to have a firsthand experience with it compared to previous generations where that technology was not available. So I decided to take that and kind of incorporate it into Rock Combo by doing Tiny Desk videos, which I use as a kind of an imitation somewhat of NPR Tiny Desk. So that's one of the ways I've used technology and recording technology, and I'll produce the songs, I'll have the students cover them, or they do covers, excuse me. And with modern technology, I'm able to manipulate those recordings to get the best sound out of the students' performances. And in turn, I think it's given students, it puts their talent under the microscope. So they know where they need to get better at, and they usually do get better. I think by recording them and exposing their recordings to the school, to the public, to all their audiences, they know where to get better where to get better at as far as their skill goes. So I think that's that was my experience myself as a student at Central and in college as well.
So after all was said and done at college and, performing as a professional, how would you say your time here at Central has been?
It's been pretty good. I've been able to, like I had mentioned, I've been able to incorporate a lot of what I've learned and give it to the students, but also to adapt where music is at today in terms of, like I had mentioned, technology, to show them its impact and its effect. Again, through Tiny Desk recordings and just through recording them and being able to expose them to expose their talents under the microscope has been one thing that I think is very important for student development. And not only that, there's a lot of music out there now. There's a lot of accessibility to releasing music and distributing music, and I think it gives kids something to look forward to when they come to school. They could do something with this that can potentially become something bigger. But by them having that accessibility in school, especially in a high school curriculum, I think for me it's always been important to kind of give students that access. So now that we have that access, now that I get to show them, how other musicians do it, how professional musicians do it in this day and age, my experience with that has been pretty good, and a lot of students have really surprised me with a lot of their personal compositions.
Right. And it was during your time here at Central that Rock Combo went from being a club back to being a class, correct?
Yes. My first year here as a teacher, it was a club, and they put me in charge of it the second year. So transitioning from club to class was with certain students who were used to it being a club was a little challenging, only because they were kind of used to it was a club. So I was just kind of there, kind of supervising, and now I was actually providing them a curriculum. So it took some time to kind of get them into that, and also too for me to figure out what exactly I was going to do, to kind of just take it beyond live performances, which got us into the Tiny Desks. But not only that, I think by it being a class and by giving students, knowing that it's going to affect their grade in some way, or it help their grade or help their GPA, I think it's encouraged a lot of students to just kind of stay in school and to have something to look forward to when they're in school.
Right. And aside from the exposure to different types of music and audio engineering, what would you say is the importance of Rock Combo as a class?
It's got a lot of importance, especially with the way I'm running it now. Students who maybe may need an outlet of some sort, who need a way to express themselves and express their talents, even stage techs who want to help and do all the behind the scenes technician things that come with live shows and recordings. I think it just gives them something to get their mind off of, to kind of distract them a little bit. I always tell my students, that hour that they have in class, that is their hour to do what they like, which is, whether they're a drummer, whether they're a guitar player, whether they're a piano player, without it being held against them. They can play guitar all they want for an hour without the responsibilities of whatever they have to deal with at home or from homework. I mean, that's their time. That it's for a grade, but it's their time in the sense of there's no penalty for just playing guitar for an hour. And I think when they go home, they have homework. Students have homework and all these other responsibilities from other things going on. I think it gets in the way of what they really want to express.
Okay, thank you. That was very informative. Before we leave, we just wanted to say a quick word about our Tiny Desk performances. Would you mind telling us where you can find them?
Yeah, we have a Central Union High School Rock Combo YouTube channel. I need to double check if that's the full name you can find it at. But yeah, there's lots of Tiny Desks available there, so you can go there and check them out.
Right. And once again, before we head out, It is my understanding you've released some music on Spotify. You mind telling our listeners where you can find that?
Oh yeah. Well, personally, I have my own group. It's kind of like just me kind of recording, producing, mixing it. It's called Cruel Motion. If you go there, you'll see there's only one song up right now. It's called The Antic. That's my personal thing. So yeah, you want to check that out. I have another group too, Rewrite, like rewriting something. There's a couple songs, Abandon All Hope and Scarlet are some of the names of them. So you guys can go and check that out. But yeah, as far as personally away from here, I think, that's where you can find it. But also too, I try to incorporate it. It helps me too with my musicality and for me to give those students, I'm working with them. Yeah, I'm learning with them as well. So that music, you can kind of hear the evolution of that.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Rubio.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And for those of you listening at home, we have a few interviews lined up with some of Rock Combo's students, so stay tuned for that. I'm currently here with what I would like to call the new guard of Rock Combo. If y'all could just introduce yourselves.
I'm Julian Villalobos. I'm a tech in the Rock Combo.
I'm Maxwell Cardenas Felix. I'm a drummer in Rock Combo.
I'm Maritza Parra. I'm a vocalist in Rock Combo.
Right, and we've brought you all here to kind of discuss Rock Combo in general. So, any prevailing thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely recommend Rock Combo to those up and coming students that are coming to Centro. It's definitely a good thing to be in. It's fun. You will enjoy it, and yeah, if you have the opportunity to get Rock Combo as a class, I strongly suggest it.
Right. So, how did y'all join Rock Combo?
Well, me personally, I auditioned last year around May, right when the year was gonna end. I got sick around the week of my auditions, so I had to change my song and stuff. But aside from that, the audition process was pretty smooth. Rubio made it very comfortable. You're able to like it was basically just me alone in the room with Mr. Rubio listening to me singing. But I heard a lot of people didn't audition. Like, actually, you didn't audition, right?
No, actually, before Rock Combo, I had engineering, and I knew that I really didn't want that class. So the first day of school, I went to the counseling office, and they told me about Rock Combo, and I was like, what is that class? What do they do? And I just told them that I play drums, and I got in, and next thing you know, I'm playing drums in lunch, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so my journey to joining Rock Combo is kind of different because I had Rubio for music appreciation my sophomore year, and then my junior year I had friends that were actually in the Rock Combo, and they told me they enjoyed it, so I requested it as a class for my senior year this year.
Right, and so Axel, you played the drums, right?
Yeah, I'm a drummer.
And Maritza, you're a singer, correct?
Yep.
And you are a stage tech, am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So has Rock Combo helped? Has Rock Combo helped y'all develop those skills? Would you say?
Yes, for sure. Actually, I've been able to work on my vocalization skills a lot because of Rock Combo. Like at the beginning of the year, I could probably not like sing really high songs, but now that I've been practicing more because of Rock Combo, I feel like I'm a lot more confident in my singing, especially singing on stage. I had never been able to sing on stage before, but now I'm able to be performing in front of like 50 people, which I was only able to do like maybe 10 people before.
Right. What about the rest of y'all?
I think it helped me like socialize with people more, and jamming with them on stage. It's pretty fun.
And for me, I feel like, how Axel said, it helped me socialize and get a lot of new friends. And then, being a tech, it helps me, like, I learned how to work fast and how to pace myself when putting everything together.
So, what would you guys say your fondest memories of Rock Combo were?
Well, me personally, I like hanging out a lot with my friends there. Most of my group, like my friend group, is vocalists or like are all vocalists. So like we like to just talk about music and like the types of songs we like to sing and things like that.
Excellent.
I think my best memory was the first time we played a Blink-182 song, and it was at the gym, and it was my first time, and I was shy at first, but when the song ended, everybody clapped and they were like happy, and that made me happy. So.
Do you remember when I announced the song and they cheered on like at first? That memory is a really good memory.
Alright, tell me what you think about me. I won't try to argue or hold it against you. You know that believing in myself, the season is coming, the pictures are falling. Steps that I'll retrace.
I like that show too. But I think my favorite memory would probably be we did a show with what's that?
With Mexican Invincible.
No, it was the play.
Oh yeah, the Christmas show.
Oh yeah, we did a Christmas show, and I think that was fun because there was a lot of people there because they did a play as well, and then there was a bunch of food and stuff, so it was cool to see a lot of people out there.
You were the hype man.
Oh yeah, and I was a hype man.
Yeah.
I remember Rubio. He told us that he asked us.
Oh, wait, that wasn't in the other show. That was on our first show. Our first
Oh,
afternoon
yeah.
show. He was a hype man in the first afternoon show.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably one of my favorite parts too, because it was kind of like super last minute, and then me and like 3 techs, we brought something together, and then we just tried it, and it worked out.
Yeah, I was helping them out, like figuring out what they wanted to say in the beginning. It was so like fun to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. So, what importance do you think Rock Combo has had, to your time here in Central?
I feel like it's fun because, or it's important because it gives like students, it takes us away from the work, and it puts us somewhere where it puts us in an environment of stuff we like to do. Like they like playing instruments, and then it's kind of cool to hook stuff up and learn all these different things. But I feel like it's important because it takes us out of the classroom, and it puts
gives us a mental break.
Yeah, and it lets us be creative in like other ways.
Yeah.
Right, that's fantastic to hear. So, what some of the skills that you guys are learning in Rock Combo? How do you guys plan to do anything with them?
Well, as I mentioned before, like stage presence. I have to work on that a lot, especially because I'm a vocalist, because I'm like dead center in the front of everyone. But I used to have a lot of trouble on that. But now that I've been performing pretty often, like lunch performances, after school performances and stuff, I've been able to work on that a lot more. And I do plan on using that later on. I kind of want to try to do something with my talents later on. But if it doesn't work out, then, like, we'll see.
I'll say with drumming, I think I have a band, and I'm planning to, like, do music and put it out there. And, yeah.
What's your band's name?
Poised.
So. Yeah, with the tech skills, I mean, it's always a good thing to have and a good thing to know what you're doing, because I feel like because I like music, so I feel like that's a good outlet to maybe being in like a studio or like with a band or something.
Right. Okay. All right. So the front part of Rock Combo, the part that everybody knows, is the tiny desk, the live performances, all of that. I wanted to ask y'all about the behind the scenes, the process behind it.
Well, it all starts off with us suggesting songs. Sometimes Mr. Rubio doesn't like the songs, so he takes them off, or he decides that they're good. So then we decide who goes on the songs. Then from there, the people that are on the songs, they practice the songs on their own at home. And then when we have rehearsal days, we basically put everyone together and rehearse together. And then from there, it takes us maybe 3 days to complete a song.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, Julian, do you have any hand in producing the performances?
Well, yeah. So when it comes to like filming tiny desks and stuff, we always have to set up the microphones a certain way, and it's like a whole process. So we really everybody has to come together and work together, so that us as the techs, we know how the musicians like their drums to be, or their mic height, or like just the volume of it. Mm-hmm. It's just, it all comes together once it's time to really record and to rehearse.
So do y'all have any final thoughts? Yes? No?
Not really. As Julian said in the beginning, I really suggest you, if you have the chance to join Rock Combo, take the opportunity. It's one of the best things that I've personally done, and I really recommend it to everyone out there that has a special talent that you want to show off.
I guess the city's growing up. I guess the city's growing up.
You're listening to Valley VibeZ, a radio show produced entirely by Spartan Sound Production, Central Union High's very own production studio. If you're just tuning in, we finished our interview with some of the Rock Combo students here at Central Union High School, particularly those who have only joined within the past year or so. And now we have some of what I would like to call the Rock Combo Old Guard, who are sort of veterans of the class, as it were. They've been in here for multiple years. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is Elijah Aiden Cerezo coming at you live from Central, and I am here with my boy Eddie in the mix.
What's up? My name is Eddie. I'm from El Centro. I've been doing music for a while.
Hi, my name's Andrea. I've been doing this for 2 years. It's been pretty fun.
Right. So, y'all have been in here for... Andrea and Elijah, I know y'all have been in here for about 2 years. Eddie is kind of one of the founding fathers, so to say. He was here when it transitioned from a club to a class. So, Eddie, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So, the club aspect of things, it was a lot more, I guess, freelance, It was kind of like what everyone liked to do, and everyone basically just did it, and we mashed up a couple of our songs, trying to be fair and get everyone's favorite songs up in it. And the next year was more like we had to just do our job more like it, I guess, just to produce and, to bring stuff more into it. And it kind of introduces us how we're going to have to do things in the real world if we do want to follow, the path of music, and how we're going to produce and make money off of it, especially with royalties and having a brand. And with this third year, it's a lot more dead set, I guess. It's more organized in a way, because people are actually starting to apply their skill levels and stuff of the such.
All right. Would y'all agree?
I would.
No, yeah, for sure.
You guys have been in here for a little bit less, but you still kind of remember how it was in the beginning and how it's going now. So,
yeah.
If y'all could just talk about that.
Well, okay, I would definitely say, being someone who got the honor to speak to people who had been in it in the past before it was a class, I can tell when you bring music into a sort of classroom environment instead of sort of a, like you said, freelance, it definitely does numb down in the tiniest way a bit of the creativity and makes it more of a production.
A chore, kind of.
Which isn't too bad, because, like you said before, like, maybe not too much was getting produced. Like, they actually didn't have anything to show for it. But now it's more of, like, you're in a classroom. Like, you got to get something done. And that does kind of kill some of the creativity, but it's not to the point where it's like we can't do what we need to do.
Right. I feel like with every year there's a lot more structure. I think that's a good thing for the most part. It's definitely frustrating when we can't get things done, but I agree. The creativity is really important when you're getting your own time and you're not rushed.
Right.
For sure.
So, what are your guys's, what are your guys' fondest memories of being a rock combo?
The environment, the individuals there. Because, when you're sitting in class and you have a desire to be a musically inclined person in your future, it's hard to sit there and enjoy math or science or anything that's not music. For someone who really, really loves music is going to come off as a negative to them. So being in a class where, if not everyone, the majority is someone who either
Those
composes,
people come
produces,
together.
or just enjoys music, it's cool to have that environment of people.
Yeah.
It's very fond.
It's different, and that's for sure. Because being in a class setting where everyone is assigned a seat and told that you have to do such a specific task that atones to literature and reading things off of, like, reading words and stuff and having to analyze texts and break things down that they don't necessarily want to be doing, or having to learn things that are too complicated for them to learn. It's just, it's a class full of passion. It's a class of people who want to continue their path along with other people. And although sometimes, some may fall short, whether it be skill or experience, they eventually will catch up.
I think in terms of the class now, I think it is one of the most useful tools for future artists. Because before, if you're in a club environment, you're going to bring together with your friends what you guys are already good at, in a way. And if it's experiments, like, you're not really setting a guideline when you're experimenting. But being in the class setting, if someone joins a class who maybe they're not the most equipped with musical knowledge based on one instrument, or they want to learn a different one, or they think they're good at one thing and they want to pursue that when they're older, being in that class, it really puts you in check of what you're good and you're not good at. Like, if you want to pursue the guitar and you can't play the guitar, then you're not going to do it. If you want to sing and you're not good at singing, then you're going to realize in that class that it's probably not for you. But that doesn't mean that you can't do anything music. It means that you might try a different instrument or try something you're better. And you're going to find your strong point musically in that class, which is very useful for those who want to take the musical route after high school.
Right. And it's not even really just about music, to my understanding. You guys have access to audio engineering tools, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Very similar to what Dr. Taki would be using in a way, but a different aspect because it's more of recording like live instruments, or it's a different type of setup.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all like, we're playing the music, Well, I'm sorry. We're all playing the music, and like, it's coming from us specifically. It's not coming from it's not coming from a computer. It's not coming from an MP3 file or a recording, although sometimes online it does. In person, we have to play for ourselves, which is kind of what gives it more emotion. It kind of gives us more control over how we express ourselves.
Ella durmió al calor de las masas y yo desperté queriendo soñarla. Algún tiempo atrás pensé en escribirle que nunca sorteé las trampas del amor. Ya que el amor de música ligera nada nos libra, nada más queda. No le enviaré cenizas de rosas, ni pienso evitar un roce secreto. Ya que el amor de música ligera, nada nos libra, nada más queda.
It would be cool in the future to maybe see a change in the name, because it limited us to like the idea of just being a rock group, like that we only do rock, but we don't. Like we've done a number of pop songs and other things. So having that experimentation, it makes you realize that it's pretty much just like Dr. Taki's class, electronic music, except a live version of that. People are coming together, building stuff. You got the teacher guiding you. It's like Dr. Taki's class, except unlike electronic music, it's like a live music version of that in a way. Very similar how they have the mentor. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Right, yeah.
And you can tell the influence that Dr. Taki's definitely had on our teacher, because he was once a fellow student of Taki's himself.
Sure.
And you can see like they kind of work together. It's almost like a younger version of him, an apprentice in a way. And you can tell he'll definitely take that role when he is older too.
You can definitely tell that he's like glad to have to work with Rubio.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. And I did have a conversation with Dr. Taki the other day about like his wants to expand studios outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
And if not outside of school, then have outside people coming more to this school to record here in this room. And that sounds pretty awesome. That sounds like a really good goal. Because as a school, having the ability to put something out there on the internet, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, or anything, that's powerful, because it really gives you a name. Like if you shine away from being a cover group as a classroom, you really start coming together creatively, like compose your own work. I mean, that could really be beneficial, because you could really represent the environment you're in more too.
Mm-hmm. Very eloquently said. Andrea, you got anything else?
I would like to say, I think a really important thing for me is I would love for us to come together outside of school. It gets hard, you know, I mean, people are busy, or, you know, at the same time, I guess the school environment doesn't really make us picture wanting to do it outside of the class. But I mean, an hour is only so much time.
Right.
That's honestly a great point I never really thought about. Like being in the classroom, it's not the greatest motivation sometimes, because where I dream is like stages and many people, audience, working with like really big names, and those don't happen in the classroom, you know. So sometimes it can definitely numb out that side of the dream, if that's what you're going for. And it'll be cool working outside of school, like getting people together, making a little group. The only or at least for me, the only difficulty would be the access to instruments. That's one of the biggest blessings about this class too, is like,
for sure.
Before, I remember I loved the drums with a passion, but I was decent at them. I just never had the money to get myself a set. And if I did, I'd have to sell it. So coming to the class, realizing there's a place I could play without having to pay was a blessing. Like that was off the bat, gave me goosebumps. I was excited to be there. It didn't matter like what we were doing, as long as there was like instruments there. Because I used to go to the music stores and sit there for hours just playing the drums for free and telling them like, hey, let me know when you got a broken one or something. And I would fix them too, but then I'd have to sell them as well. So having a place where you can access instruments, whether they're the schools or someone else just bringing them and leaving them, is honestly a great environment to have.
Helpful.
Because like I was telling Dr. Tacky, my future dream is to open a music studio where I can have people come and record for free, and I produce and mix and release their stuff.
Distribute.
And only keep probably 10%, let them keep the rest, and if they want to leave, there's no signing or anything, they just leave. Like, it's just a good boost, because a lot of people have talent, but they don't have the means to make it happen.
Yeah, it's the equipment too.
And Rock Combo, electronic music, those both are some of the greatest resources for people that have talent. Because I remember when I was in electronic music last year, I'd seen people, they weren't the best, but they were learning and they were growing. And they may not have been studio quality, like someone's gonna buy their beat, but there was those people who didn't have it that were still producing incredible little pieces.
Learning new tricks, you know? Like learning how to do stuff.
And it's really good for growing. It's just a great resource.
Yeah. It sounds like you're shaping up to be sort of another Dr. Tacky in the same way Mr. Rubio is.
Dude, that's a good way to put it.
You really have to have the passion, because it can get so frustrating, especially working with students that sometimes some people in there don't even know if they like playing or singing, and we have them as stage techs, but there's always room for people to learn. And I mean, it takes a lot of practice, but that's definitely an opportunity for other people that don't know how to get there, basically.
That is once again another point I never thought about till now. Seeing the stage techs is something that makes me happy as well, because there's a lot of people I know who will talk about band, actual band instruments or drum line. They're like, oh, I wish I could have been a part of it, I just don't know how to play, or I don't want the time to do that. There's people that enjoy music production to the point where they go every show, every chance they get, they'll be around music, even if it's just like a little open mic.
They'll follow a tour.
And there's people at the school who would love music to the point where they may not be someone who ever wants to pursue it, but they just want to be around it. Being able to have that tech position is pretty dope to see too, because there's people that definitely are good at it, big dudes that just want to be around the music, lift up.
But it's different. That's a big one, because you get your techs, and honestly that is a real aspect of it. I mean, if you can reach that level of just reputation as an artist, you're gonna have people like that. You're gonna have people who are like, okay, this dude is paying me to move his stuff here, and I'm pretty sure those people have the time of their lives getting paid to move stuff for musicians, and seeing all these great and famous people, seeing all these people come around from the globe.
Now, to guide the conversation away from the past and present, what I want to look and see in the future in terms of Rock Combo is, like I said, to drift away from the rock part of the Rock Combo, because the Rock Combo is beautiful. That's probably how it started. That music was probably the most impactful at the time in that age group, high schoolers, like rock and roll. But what we're seeing in music at the moment is a lack of originality. There's no more genres coming out that are considered new and unique. So if we drift away from the rock, and like I said, it would be like music combo or live performance combo, or just something that represents music in a versatile, genre wise, because then we could stop focusing on doing covers, and maybe even try, and this is a big stretch, to one day come out with new genres.
I know what you're saying. They have camps for musicians to come together and develop in bands, and then that band produces an album, and through the school they distribute the album.
Yeah,
that would be kind of a perfect thing to do here. Just group people up, get them to make a few songs, and then help it be released.
Because where we live, I mean, the closest studio affordable wise is 2 hours away. And the ones out here, you have to pretty much either be R&B or hip hop related. They're not going to have none of the means to record rock. I mean, maybe some pop, but the majority of the people out here are of a hip hop based recording group.
I mean, but it's kind of gone, dude. Everyone's just kind of moved on from it to see what they can evolve.
That's fair. That's why taking the class and less of the covers, because we do a lot of covers. That's our main thing, is definitely doing covers, and trying to come together to find a new style of music. It would be great, because that's what happened in the 90s, that's what happened in the 70s. People took one thing and they were like, I want to change this to this, and it became a whole new genre. Maybe it wasn't even accepted for a very long time, but then it slowly shows the impact and it grows like the classroom was growing. So having that ability to shape music in your own hands and having the means to do it is incredible. So I think that in the future, I just want to see the Rock Combo trying to go down that direction, trying to shape the new world of music in a way. And if not shape it, then influence someone else to shape it, because that's how it happens. It's just influence. Someone hears you and they get an idea in their head.
Right. So, any more thoughts from y'all?
Well, on my terms, I think that would be it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a pretty good.
Andre.
I agree. Yeah. I like everything we talked about. Yeah.
Right. So before we cut it off here, did y'all have anything that you wanted to add?
Yes. Aside from being Elijah Cerezo, I am also known as Yaski 101, YAHSKI, founder of 101 Records, and I have an album hopefully to come within the next month. And many other projects you can go ahead and listen to. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, wherever you want to listen to it. And I would also like to mention a group in the making that is involved with the record label DIO, Death in October. And that is a couple members are actually pretty frequently working with Rock Combo themselves. So that's pretty useful. And aside from that, one more group would be Greece. Greece has a lot of projects on the way.
That's a lot of potential.
A lot of potential as well.
Yeah, where can we find them?
We could find them, again, on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram. They have it at just Greece.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to cut it off here. Thank y'all for your time. Shout outs to Juan, and to our listeners, we'd like to thank y'all for listening to our little dive into Central's Rock Combo. We strongly encourage y'all to check out the Rock Combo's official YouTube channel if you liked what you heard here, or just want to see our coveted Tiny Desk performances. Just search up Central Union High School Rock Combo, or at Central Union High School Rock 4318. That is at Central Union High School Rock 4318 on YouTube. This is Daniel Montoya, signing off till next week at the same time, Sunday, 9 a.m.
This program was produced and brought to you by Spartan Sound Productions. Special thanks to our hosts, guests, and featured artists, Daniel Montoya, Serenity Ratana, Emilia Lopez, Edward Vera, Eli Serrazo, Andrea Moreno, Julian Villalobos, Axel Cardenas Felix, Maritza Parra, and Soren Dorantes. Rock Combo Director Mr. Art Rubio, Dr. Thomas Tacky, Creator and Director of Spartan Sound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School, and the Central Union High School District, and to you, the listeners.